Because you won't, she said in my ear, muffling herself with my mane. You matter to me, Blackjack. You matter. You matter to so many ponies, and you died. You were hurt. You, sweet Celestia, why are you so convinced you deserve to suffer? You paid for 99, okay? You paid for everything. So why can't you accept that you matter, and it's as wrong for you to be hurt as it is for Scotch, or me, or any pony else to be? I closed my eyes and marveled at the silk of her mane, the wet trickle of her tears, the sound of her ragged breathing and the beat of her heart, the most beautiful sound in the world. I don't know. Like I said, crazy. She broke into more sobs as she held me close, shedding tears I couldn't. I wished I knew a way to make her stop, or a way for me to join her. Anyway, thank you for last night, I said softly as I held her back. Oddly, I think I understand why Deus acted like he did. She silenced, and I peered back at her with a little smile. You don't understand? There was something in her face, a look both repelled and curious at the same time. I suppose it was the doctor in her. I don't... Wow. Sorry for the awkward, I said with a rueful chuckle. You don't... do you want... like, he? She was babbling, and I smiled and kissed her. You didn't turn me into a cyberpony sex friend rapist. At least, I really, really, really hoped she hadn't. I just mean that, now that half of me is mechanical, I think I know why he acted like he did. Glory relaxed a little, and her curiosity seemed to be overcoming the part of her that was horrified that I might emphasize with a rapist, having been both a victim and a perpetrator myself. Honestly, I was getting a little turned around, trying to come to terms with it. What do you mean, then? The professor said that they had to let him retain his penis. Seems kinda stupid, given what he did, I murmured softly. But Glory, what we did together, it was the first thing I've really done that made me feel like a pony. Like I was more than a machine. And making you feel good, making you happy, it made me feel like I'm more than just a source of misery and pain for you. I know that he was a monster for what he did, but given how he felt, I know how important it was to him. I thought of the professor, stuck in her jar with only a vague hope of ever getting her body back. Would she last years like that? Months? Weeks? Until I'd had sex, I hadn't realized what a fundamental need it was for me. It was the last little bit of my flesh and blood equinety. I wouldn't have survived as a brain in a jar. No pony could. Not with her sanity intact. I sighed as I felt her reach down and felt her touch a warm, tender part of me. I groaned, a little part of my mind telling me that this was stupid and wasteful and indulgent, and I took that part of me and mentally beat the shit out of it and leaned back and let her help me feel like flesh and blood mare again. My barding was buckled, the usual simple task now. Interestingly, with no magic, and my new fingers. The battle saddle that Calamity had rigged for me yesterday was in place, Taurus's rifle on one side, and a new 12-gauge shotgun on the other. Vigilance was polished to a gleam and set into a 4-leg holster. Lacuna had sewn my Crusader filly onto the Reaper hoofball uniform. My saddlebags were in place with an ammo feed to each gun. I was getting used to the control bit. How do you keep from shooting by accident when you talk? I asked as I looked back at Glory. This whole setup was weird, and just a touch kinky. Practice, she said as she nudged me with a smile. Then I looked a little concerned at me, with working my tongue as I reached up to tap a little tab on the side of my mouth. Also safeties. Oh yeah, that'd probably be smart. We made our way to the top of the roof, where the 3 wings of alicorns awaited, 6 green along with 3 purples. The green alicorns, according to Lacuna, had the ability to boost the purple's teleportation ranges. Rover grumbled nearby, as he gave sullen looks and kept his exact opinion on alicorns to himself. Little Pip was staying out of sight, having decided to erase every memory of me and my friends she possessed. And I'd just have to make sure that the goddess didn't suck my brains out when I was asleep. Homage trotted up to me and gave me a nuzzle. Be careful. I hear Hoofington's a dangerous place. Be careful yourself, I replied with a smile. Please, I live in Tenpony. What could possibly happen to me here? She countered with a grin. But really, be careful. Whatever took down the MAS EBS in the valley wasn't just some overeager scavenger pulling a plug. It was cut off by somebody who knew precisely what they were doing. So watch out. I nodded again and looked at Hoofington, helping Hoof. He cleared his throat, then said softly, I'll keep an eye on your metal ring. We'll have the DJ let you know if it comes to anything. We'll have him call it Blackjack's Science Project or something. I thanked him for taking my concern seriously. Lifebloom gave a cool, if slightly curious, look at the alicorns before looking back at me. Hope this is a safe mode of travel. If the goddess wants to use me, sure. Till then, I gave a little shrug, and then I sighed. Sorry, I didn't turn out to be Twilight Sparkle's kid. Homage's smile faded as she looked over at P21. I tried to ignore the pink pony going ooh in the back of my brain as I focused on Lifebloom. And was it just me, or were the purple alicorns now glancing at each other? You've given the society and myself a lot to think about, Blackjack, he said with a smile. Thank you. No problem. And thank you for the book. I smiled at him, and he blinked as if he didn't know what I was talking about. Magical exercises for young unicorns? I said, giving him a sly wink. He hesitated, then smiled. Oh, yes, of course. You're welcome. He really should have gone into acting. He almost had me convinced. Then he trotted away with Homage and Helping Hoof. The purple alicorn beside me projected this into my mind. We certainly hope you do not expect us to make a habit of this. Where do you wish to go in that miserable city? I looked at my friends, new and old, and smiled. Home. The world disappeared in a purple flash. Footnote. Maximum level reached.